Now let's compare $120 billion rout in market cap of the Facebook with the GDP of some of the nations in the world. The United States has a GDP of $19,390 billion, while the second largest economy in the world, China's GDP, is $12,000 billion. Japan has an annual GDP of $4,872 billion, and India's GDP is $2,611 or $2 trillion. Pakistan's GDP is $303 billion, while data shows Bangladesh GDP at $261 billion. Kuwait has a GDP of $120 billion, while Ukraine's GDP is less than $110 billion. Ecuador has a reported GDP of $102 billion, while Sri Lanka's GDP is $87 billion. Moving on, figures from Oman divulges a GDP of $74 billion, while Myanmar has a GDP of $66 billion. Botswana's annual GDP is $17 billion, while the GDP of Afghanistan is less than $1 billion. It's in fact less than $500 million, and Zimbabwe's GDP is even lesser than that. And I'm joined by my colleague Sumit Chaturvedi from Newsroom. Sumit, explain as to why this meltdown has taken place.
Well, overall, Karthikeya, if you look at the stock market and market valuation, it's a matter of sentiments. So sentiments are against Facebook. There are a couple of reasons for this. First of all, what analyst has said is that the Facebook's growth has plateaued. It will not grow as much as it was growing over the last few years. Its revenue, average revenue per user, ARPU, is coming down. Also, its ability to have more and more users is also coming down drastically. And apart from that, the kind of scandal it has faced, Cambridge Analytica, that has eroded the overall faith in Facebook. And all these have combined, in a way eroded or dealt a big blow to Facebook's market cap. It's come down by whopping $120 billion over the last 1 day. Clearly, as you pointed out, bigger than even Kuwait, which is it is having a GDP of $120 billion. So Facebook and market cap is all about sentiments. Earlier, sentiments were in favor of Facebook. It was acquiring new properties. It was going up and up. And it was having, at one point of time, it still has that around 20 crore users across the world. So it's a huge, we can say that it's a behemoth, but it's coming down. So, whenever it's big, the elephant's fall is also big. That's what more analysts are worried about now, that what happens if Facebook starts coming down from here, the fall will be big. And that's what has worried investors who have sold off shares in Facebook and has exited the company. Though many investors are still invested in the company. Its market cap was above $600 billion. It has come now below $500 billion. So it's a big rout when it's compared to earlier market cap, but it's still something bigger than many companies. So $120 billion wiping out was equivalent to GE, which is the hardware giant in US. So it's really, Facebook is still big, but these kind of things, if they keep on happening, the bad days are there to stay for Facebook, it looks like.
But the fact of the matter, Sumit, is that even the growth portion of social media is with the Facebook, which is Instagram. But my question to you is, do you think that it's going to impact the long-term growth of Facebook as a social media platform? Is this decline curve a long-run phenomena or a short-run hiccup because of the sentiment which are fueled by the fact that the data is not secure?
Well, it looks like it's at least here to stay for some more time, because no positive, news is coming. As far as Facebook is concerned, whatever news is emerging, it's in negative territory. And not just Facebook, it's the other tech giants, Apple, Google, all of them are facing some trouble or the other. Apple, we are seeing that its overall the sales of handset is not as good as the sales of the previous handset. So the kind of sales generated by iPhone 5, iPhone 6, 6s is not as good as the sale which is being generated by iPhone X or iPhone 8. In the case of Google also, the new users which are being created are not good enough. Also, Google is facing antitrust rulings in EU. So overall, for this FANG, which is like the all big, we call them the big technical giants of US, which includes Apple, Google, Facebook, and all of them, they haven't been able to keep up with the pace of the other giants. They are facing problems across the world, and it is going to get worse, it looks like.